Oh, yes. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to an episode of the Mill3r Sports Podcast that's affiliated with my company that I like to call Burn City Sports. I'm your host, Franklin Miller, for this special episode with a new guest on here who is one of my good friends are back home in the Bay Area. His name's Christian Salgado. Christian, how you doing, my guy? It's been a while.
Been a while, man. Good morning. How you doing, Franklin?
I'm doing good, man. Yeah, I wanted to just touch base and just kind of talk about the Suns playoff preview or Suns playoff matchup with the Clippers, and also like other stuff that's going on around the NBA and stuff like that. But first, yeah, I just wanted to holler at you and see how about these few couple playoff playing games that are coming up within today and tomorrow. So yeah, just wanted to pick your brain on that as we have four games, two in the West, two in the East. So I just wanted to kick that off and say let's talk about the Lakers versus Timberwolves at first.
All right.
Obviously, there's no Rudy Gobert. There's no Jaden McDaniel. There's two of the best defenders already gone in this game, in a very big game against a pretty healthy Lakers team. And I don't know, man. It's looking like it's going to be tough sledding for this squad. But who do you got winning that game to play the Memphis Grizzlies in the first round?
Yeah, I think they're cooked, man. The after that fiasco, was it yesterday? Yeah. I mean, when you look at all the assets they traded for Rudy Gobert, it's shameful, man.
Oh,
It's a disaster of a franchise, honestly. And I just feel bad for Anthony Edwards, to be quite honest with you. He really tried hard in that game. I don't know if you saw the block. It was a Michael Jordan-esque block. Came
mm,
down, met him at the apex. I mean, it was incredible, man. But yeah, losing Gobert and especially McDaniels, I think is one of the most underrated defenders in the league. Um, it's tough, man. I think the Lakers are gonna come in and honestly dominate. They have no one to contain AD, and they got Braun still. So they're looking all healthy and all engines going. I think, I think it's Lakers easy on that one. As far as the other side goes, for Thunder, um, I think that's a spicy matchup between the Thunder and the New Orleans Pelicans.
yep.
I really love Bi season this year. He's really blossomed as a playmaker. He just has like a complete package as a player right now. And really big fan of Trey Murphy the third. Also, he's like the perfect modern NBA wing. He can
Yeah,
shoot,
he's developed really
defend.
well.
Yeah, runs with pace. But I got the Thunder on this one, man. I'm a big Shea believer. He's really ascended into like a true, genuine All NBA point guard. And I like their backcourt. They're weird. They don't even have a true center, but they still like got really great positional size. So it's going to be an interesting matchup for them as well. But we can go back. What are your thoughts on the Lakers Minnesota matchup?
Yeah, man. Like same with you. I think it's they're done at least for that game. Yeah, I definitely have the Lakers winning that game. I actually kind of thinking it's almost looks like it's going to be a collision course between them and Memphis in the first round because I'm looking at the matchup between Anthony Davis and Jaren Jackson Jr. in the
Yeah,
in
that's
the
going to
front
be great
court.
if that happens. I'm still on the fence on who wins that. Honestly,
Yeah,
I think that might go to 7.
yep. And you got Steven Adams out for that series, so
That's
you already
true.
know Jared Johnson's gonna have to play heavy minutes and carry the loading and defend against AD. So that's gonna be an NBA nerd's dream. If I'm being quite honest with you, so yeah, I got the Lakers in that one, and
Everybody
pretty
loves a power forward for sure.
yeah. I think Anthony Edwards is gonna do his thing though. I just don't think he'll have
Yeah, I
enough
mean,
help
they
to.
can't contain Edwards, but they don't have any sides to defend the Lakers. The Lakers are huge. They are a big team.
Yeah, yeah, they are. They got bigger too, and yeah. So and I think D'Angelo Russell, Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley, they're all gonna get
I
there.
love Vanderbilt. Big Vanderbilt guy.
Yeah, I'm a big Vanderbilt guy
Bit
too.
a bit of a revenge Vanderbilt game too.
Yeah, absolutely. Then also to go with the Pelicans Thunder game, I'm actually gonna take the Pelicans in that
Okay,
one. As
okay.
weird as that sounds, I think they've shown without Zion Williamson the chemistry that they have, especially from a year ago, being in the same situation. So then they're gonna come in there knowing exactly what they need to do to get a game like this to move on in the Western Conference. I truly believe that the Thunder are a team that's arising. I just think defensively they're not quite there yet per se, and I think Brandon Ingram's going to feed in the paint against that team at will. I don't think the Pelicans are anybody that can guard Shea, for instance. I mean, you can put Herbert Jones on him at times, and you can
The
maybe
clamp god.
yeah, you can maybe make his life miserable for a little bit, but it's gonna be tough.
Shea's
But
so
with that,
slippery, man. He's got one of the best whistles in the league too. I
oh
swear to God, it's a foul every time he drives in.
yeah,
It's kind of crazy for a younger player.
yeah. So I mean, it's kind of crazy, but yeah. With that being said, I got the Pelicans winning that game, and then I have them playing the Timberwolves in the next in that other round. But yeah, we can before we get to the final playing matchup, before you got coming out for that, we can go in with the Eastern Conference as we got the Heat taking on the Hawks. I see your face. And then we got the Bulls and the Toronto Raptors. So
I
yeah,
think
let's
both
go with
these
that
games
one.
are gonna suck, man. I don't like these matchups.
Yeah, I think both games are kind of a mismatch for for a couple teams. But yeah, who do you got in both series? I feel like it's
So
going to be the same as I have.
for me, the Heat and Hawks is honestly a coin toss.
Okay.
I can't really doubt Spoelstra and Jimmy and Bam. Like they're on paper, yeah, sure. They've had a weird season. They're really old. But somehow they always manage to string up some wins and get in there. At the same time, I'm kind of going with a narrative reason here. I think we're going to see a Trey Young revenge game. I think he remembers last year, and I want to see the theatrics, man.
Really?
Yeah, I want to see the theatrics. I think Atlanta takes it. It's a spicy take, I know, but
That's a very spicy take.
I know. Yeah,
They
Atlanta.
got a good coach in Quinn Snyder, so
Yeah,
it's going
that's
to be a
been a
good
good
game.
addition, and he leads the league in assists total, not assists per game, but he leads the league in assists total. Trey Young's averaging 26 and 10. Very underrated season again. I mean, I'm not the biggest Trey Young fan, but I'm a believer. Like I like to
Yeah,
see it. He's honestly one of the most engaging players. When he's hot, it has that effect. He pull up from deep. He's constantly throwing lobs everywhere across the court. He's an exciting player to watch, and I think maybe they could take it. Then
yeah,
again, I wouldn't be shocked if they got obliterated by the Heat either. So really, it's a coin toss for me. Like I said.
yeah. No, it's tough. It's tough for sure. I mean, I feel like in that game though, I got Miami easily. I
Okay.
really believe I really believe the way they're excelling at this point in the season's been really really good. I think they're playoff ready. I think Jimmy Butler, in my opinion, has been a top 10 player this year. Although a lot of people, even though he didn't even make the All Star team, I think he's
Okay.
had a top 10 like
Okay.
season. He's not. It's not. It doesn't show up in points, so you're not going to find it with like points per game. So I'm just saying, as an all around player, I think he's been amazing. Um,
Jimmy always keeps the burners low into the playoffs, and then he turns into like
oh
Leonard
yeah,
2.0 for whatever reason.
yep. There's that too, and I think once if Miami gets past Atlanta and they got to play Boston, I know if you're Boston, you're going to be like, dang, like you're gonna be like, dang, So, but kicking gears into the play-in game from the Raptors and Bulls. This is not gonna lie, my least favorite of all of them.
It's a bad vibe matchup. Both
The
these
bad
teams
vibe
don't
matchup.
like playing like very disengaged teams.
Yes, but who do you got? Who do you got winning that?
I'm leaning towards Toronto. On this one, I think they're the most healthy. I think they could probably beat the Bulls. I don't think the Bulls are not fun to watch, man. They don't look like
No,
they're having fun out there. And Zach Levine and DeRozan are streaky at times. If they had a healthy Caruso and they had a healthy Lonzo, I think this is a completely different story. I think when they were all together, that backcourt was the best defensive backcourt in the league. And they were engaged, but no, I don't think so. They didn't know if they wanted to playoffs or if they wanted to tank this year. They didn't make up their mind about anything this year. So I
yeah,
think I got Toronto. At least Toronto, I think will try harder, in my opinion. If you want to say talent on the floor, you could give it to Chicago. I guess. I mean, who's the best player on the court? Pascal, Zach LaVine. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, man. I would argue Pascal, but honestly, I think it's DeMar DeRozan still. That's the best player on the court.
Bar. Okay,
Uh,
I see that.
but I think as all around player, you got to probably give it to Pascal. So I don't know. We'll see about that. I think honestly, I'm with you. I'm going with Toronto. I think they're just a little deeper.
Yeah.
They're not defending like they have in years past, but I do think with the guys like Pascal, with guys like Fred VanVleet, with guys like OG Anunoby, with guys like Gary Trent Jr. and all these guys, they didn't sell them at the farm. So, and I know this is probably going to be their last year. This is probably going to be Nick Nurse's last year. I think they're going to try at
Yeah.
least go one more time to get to make a playoff push here.
And
But I do,
what's
yeah.
crazy about Toronto is they still have lottery odds. They if they even if they win they could first round and big stretch, but they could potentially get Wembanyama next year. I mean,
That's
I think it's like a 1%, 3% chance, but like
yeah.
they could
Hey
be a
man,
really good squad.
yep. No, they do. And but the thing is, I really do believe that Toronto, they're in that thought process in mind of like, hey, we're gonna tear this whole thing down. They're gonna probably still keep Pascal and everything. But I have a feeling Nick Nurse is gonna be gone. Fred VanVleet's gonna be gone. OG Anunoby is gonna be on trading block, depending on who they draft and get around Siakam. Gary Trent Jr. is probably gonna be gone. So I don't know. We'll see. But for right
Real
now, I do
quick
got
though, what does that
Toronto.
team look like though? A team built around Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, and Gary Trent Jr.
I
Like
don't know. That's tough.
what kind of team does that look like?
You
Really,
need
like
wing shooters around those
yeah,
guys, in my
and they're all
opinion.
like positionally what like 6'8" to like 6'9". It's like
You can work with that for sure. You just gotta find the right pieces shooting
Raptors
wise.
only draft wings. Like besides Fred VanVleet, it's like all wings on that team.
And Fred VanVleet was an undrafted player, so
Yeah,
you know. But yeah, to go all around with the whole plan with now. I guess we can start with the West because we had you had the Thunder coming in. So
mm-hmm.
if Thunder play the Timberwolves to get that 8th spot, who do you got winning that?
The, I still go the Thunder. Honestly,
Okay.
Timberwolves are cooked. Like I said, I don't believe in them at all.
Yeah,
And
Jamie McDaniels isn't going to be back either by that game either. So
no, he's
you got
not.
to get there. But
I mean, honestly, I think the Thunder are the youngest team in the league. They're like 22 average, which is crazy.
22.5 average, bro.
Yeah, but
Crazy.
I really feel the camaraderie. Like it's a good vibe team. I'm big on the vibes. Like if it's a good vibe team, you could make a run. Like sure,
Yeah.
talent will always overcome at the end of the day, but I don't know. The Timberwolves, I don't think they like each other very much.
No, and you know what the crazy thing is? This Timberwolves team, or not Timberwolves, this Thunder team kind of gives me the vibes of not 2 years ago, Memphis Grizzlies, when they played the Warriors to get in that one year to get the 8th seed, and I think their average was around the same, like 22 for that team. You maybe had a few more veteran guys, but you still had a young John Morant, young Jaren Jackson, young Dylan Brooks, all these guys. But it's kind of crazy how all that kind of plays into effect now, and the Thunder in a similar boat. However, I obviously picked the Pelicans, so I have the Pelicans and Timberwolves playing, and I actually have the Pelicans getting past the Timberwolves to play the Nuggets. Like I said, I don't think they have any. With Jaden McDaniels not there, I don't think they have anybody that can stop Brandon Ingram. I think they've been here like this in the past, where I think they smell their time again coming. They obviously want or hoping Zion can come back. I honestly am on the mindset. I don't think he's coming back. I think it's the same situation like last year, which sucks from New Orleans. But I do see them getting past the Timberwolves, and
it's always a big if with Zion.
Yeah, it's always a big if with Zion.
When he plays, he dominates. But when does he play?
It's tough, man. I feel for Pelicans fans, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
kind of tough. And now we go to the East. I have the Hawks playing the Raptors. You have I have the Hawks playing the Raptors. You have the Raptors playing the blanking on the name, the Heat. There you go, the Miami Heat. So who I'm guessing you have the Heat coming out of that?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, the Heat for sure. They just defensively, I think the Raptors doesn't have anything. I think they're gonna lock them up, and they don't really have anyone to contain Bam. And
Yeah.
like I said, Jimmy Butler is gonna be doing Jimmy Butler things.
Yep. No, that's tough. And same goes for like if the Hawks played the Raptors. I actually, funny enough, I would have the Raptors actually being in a very close game with them, and even having teams thinking, "Oh, the Raptors are going to take this after halftime." I got Trey Young being Trey Young in those special moments and just taking over the game, and them not doing anything to stop him, and they just kind of barely move past and get to play the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting first round series, or well, not even just first round series, but playing games as well. As we have, like, in my opinion, 3 out of the 4 at least should be close games, if not all of them. So, should be interesting. But yeah, now I kind of wanted to fast forward with all the playing games set up. I kind of want to talk about the first round matchup with the Suns and
Mm-hmm.
Clippers. Obviously, there's going to be no Paul George for at least the beginning of the series. He might not come back at all for the series. I did see a video / report of Shams talking about that with the crew out there in Vanduel. So
Yeah, I
um,
saw there was no timetable currently.
yeah, there's no timetable, but he's progressing well, so he's going to try. But I think they're going to try to do what's best for him long term. So obviously, you got KD now in Phoenix. So
Haven't
uh,
lost yet.
yeah, haven't lost yet. They're undefeated when he's playing. But yeah, who do you have in that first round matchup? And
I got Suns and 6.
Suns in 6. Okay.
Yeah, Suns and 6. I think no one's gonna be able really to cover Kawhi, but the Clippers, I want to I want to be a believer in them, but it's hard, man. They've had what is this year 4 or year
Yeah.
4 or 5 with both of them, and I love Kawhi. Kawhi is one of my favorite players to watch. He's incredible when he's engaged. It has the right team around him, but I just don't think he has the supporting cast. I still think he's probably going to average 30 points on like 60% shooting for the series, but I I don't think anyone is going to be able to cover KD and Devin Booker, and having Chris Paul facilitate both of those on the wings is it's the Suns are going to make a run. I think they have an interesting roadmap here, just in general for the West. But yeah, as far as the Clippers go, I mean they have shooters. You know, they have a somewhat okay bench, but I think the Suns got them. What the
Yeah.
Suns have to worry about though is their wings. You know, after Bridges and what's his name? Now I'm blanking. Cam left. It's
Yep.
it's a bit of a weak positionally, but they also have Kevin Durant. So
He makes up for those two just because of how that's just how good he is. But Mikel's been having a KD like season in
yeah,
Brooklyn.
that's a whole nother
That's a
story.
whole nother
That's insane.
discussion. Yeah. So, but that's good analysis, man. I too have Phoenix in 6 games, potentially even 5.
Okay.
I'm giving Kawhi at least a game. Um, they might, especially in LA. I actually think they might steal one in Phoenix. That's kind of my guess, but I just think that starting lineup is just going to be too much for LA. Obviously, I think the Suns have a little bit of an issue with they lost Bismack Biyombo and Cameron Payne. We don't know when they're going to be back. We'll probably learn more this upcoming week, either today or tomorrow, about that. But as of right now, even with them two out, you still have Landell, who's been playing good the past couple games. I like Darius Baisley's upside. I just think playoff basketball is going to be, so we'll see about that.
Yeah, I
He's
think
so promising that final game.
definitely his first playoff game. I think right because he's been on the Thunder this entire
He's on
time.
the Thunder, so yeah,
Um, I Westbrook opinions real quick.
yeah, man. What's up with the Westbrook opinions?
Well, I'm asking you for the Clippers. You are you
Mm.
worried at all, sun wise, or
Oh, I mean, I
we're
like the
getting
way he's
vintage
been.
Russ? Because that is actually the X factor. Now that I think
I,
about it.
I have liked the way he's been playing. The past week or so with the Clippers. I think he's been more in control. I think he's been scoring the ball pretty well. Um, I do think though you're probably gonna switch Okogie with Kawhi at times. I do think though there will be times where Russ might shoot them out the game, which could be an issue.
Yeah.
Um,
Are we having is CP guarding Westbrook?
Probably at times, not the
Yeah.
whole time.
Probably definitely not the whole.
I think there's gonna be honestly, I think there's gonna be situations where Book's on him for the most part, and Book's the kind of guy that he's engaged defensively. I'm not gonna say he's a good defender, but he's engaged defensively. I think the reason why he lets off at times is because of the foul calls that the refs be making. Because I've been watching these games, especially when I go to those games. He be letting up when they're going for a shot, and I know the reason why is because not because like he's like not trying to defend or anything or trying to get in transition. He's worried that if he plays if he's like getting anywhere close, he's gonna get called for a foul. So he makes business decisions on that
Right.
court.
It's hard to like really give your full effort if you're getting called for a reach in or
Exactly.
anything.
I'm telling you, if they had 90s level rules in today's NBA, I'm telling you, there's gonna be a lot of There's gonna be a lot of plus defenders in the plus minus situation that you're gonna be looking at, being like, "Well, I didn't know he was a good defender." And it's like, well, it's because that he
Yeah.
obviously
I
been
mean,
called for
Book's
breathing
not
on
a
his
bad
neck.
defender either by any means.
No,
He's I would say he's a little above average as a defender.
yeah, 100%. So I like it a lot. Yeah, but to answer your Russell Westbrook question, I'm like, I'm a little worried. I do think though that there's gonna be times where he does play pretty well for them. I think that I'm expecting a game 3 Russ to come in or something like that and kind of like go vintage on the Suns and help Kawhi get them get them a game. Um, I don't know. We shall see. Like I
I
said, it
mean,
really comes down to if Paul George can come back in time, honestly,
yeah, I
and
mean,
how he'll look coming back.
I would love that. The series last year between the two was good.
Yeah, or 2 years ago,
2 years
right?
ago, you're right. My bad. two
Yeah,
years ago.
but that was without Kawhi,
Yeah, that's what
and I
Paul.
think their
It was
team
like
was a lot deeper than it is now.
very true. And you guys didn't have wasn't CP injured as well for a
No,
little bit of that series?
CP came back for like game 3, but then
That's right.
freaking
Yeah.
went nuclear in game 6, like 41 points. So yeah, and also a big thing that I like about that is when you have because they can't double team both Katie and Book. But one thing I like that I've started to learn and realize is how dangerous of a third option Chris Paul is, especially when the team wants him to shoot the ball more. And I know like we haven't really seen Chris Paul shoot the ball more in years past, but in the playoffs throughout his career, he's been averaging like 20 throughout his career. And then last year in the playoffs, he averaged like 17. So I'm expecting a more not volume shooter, but a more aggressive scorer in CP, especially with them kind of putting all their attention on
Yeah,
Book and KD.
you guys are like
He wants to
the
shoot the ball more when hearing that in press conferences and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting. I think Chris Paul is one of the best shooters on the team. Like
yeah. I mean, you guys are like the step in gods. You guys are probably the best
step in, God.
mid range trio like of all time. Like
I think
you guys
Shaq called him the mid-range mafia.
the mid range mafia. I like that.
Yeah,
No, all three of them are clinic. Obviously, Kevin Durant shoots over anybody.
yeah,
Booker knows how to get to his spots and create space, and CP3 has been doing this for a long time.
yeah.
So I
That's
think
all. And we didn't
it's
even
gonna
talk
be
about
a clinic.
and all
If
that.
you're a mid range nerd, it's gonna be a footwork clinic. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%, and going vice versa too for Kawhi if you want to put him in that category as
Yeah,
well.
for sure.
So yeah, it's gonna be a very very fun series that I'm looking forward to watching, for all intents and purposes. And yeah, we can like even move on to other key matchups in the playoffs. I know we have the Suns in 6, so we can like even go based off that. Who do you think the biggest threat if the Suns were to make it out this first round? Who do you think the biggest threat for them in this playoff is coming out the West? Is it the Clippers in that first round, or is it somebody else that if they were to make it out?
It, I I am hesitant to say. But I think let's see. If you guys win, what do you guys play? The winner of
We play the
Denver?
winner of the 1 and 8 seed.
One, yeah. So it'd be. Are you scared of the Nuggets?
So here's the thing. Like the last couple games when the Nuggets sat out Jokic and Jamal Murray and a lot of their starters, I wasn't really too concerned going into it. But the thing is, both teams haven't really played each other healthy. Like the Nuggets played the Suns twice at their spot with us with all our backups. And then we played the Nuggets twice at home with all our backups. So if we were to meet them in the second round, and knowing how the Nuggets bench unit played against us, I am a little nervous because we don't have anybody that can stop Jokic for that matter. But also, I don't think Jokic defends particularly well, which is where I think Aiden's going to feast for once against one of these big guys.
Oh yeah, we haven't even talked about Aiden
We
yet.
haven't talked
Yeah,
about Aiden, and I think Aiden throughout his career has averaged double against Jokic.
he
So
when you the 2021 run to the finals, I think Aiden was arguably one of the most important players of
in
that run.
the whole
He's
playoffs.
got great size. He's got great hands. I think he's going to be a problem for a lot of teams. There's not a lot of true centers really you guys are going to be matching up on
Mm-hmm.
besides Jokic.
Yeah.
Everybody else is pretty lean. If you guys can get him engaged, then I think you can't guard four. I would argue all-star caliber players. Even Aiden, I consider almost to be an all-star level center
Yeah.
at times. I mean, it's just he's not the flashiest guy in the world. He's not like these modern bigs that can like dribble and shoot. But he does the dirty work. He does the little things. He sets hard screens. He rolls hard. I think it'll be a problem. And honestly, Jokic has not been engaged this year on defense. Last year, he had his best defensive season of his
Mm-hmm.
career, and this year, I feel like just doesn't care. He just lets people walk in, get free layups. I don't know if it's just too much of a burden on him on offense right now or what, but
It's a little bit of both. I think it's a lot about with the tiki tack calls as well. Like you're trying to stay out of foul trouble, especially if you're a very important player. And I guarantee they get coached up on that. They're
very
like, hey,
true.
in today's NBA, it's gonna be hard to kind of defend like we want to with kind of the way the game's being called. So for the important players, I know coaches are talking to them, being like, hey, we need you on that court. So we're gonna have you kind of play defense. Like do not play defense, but make sure you stay out of foul trouble. So that's when they have to take business decisions. So, but yeah, to answer your question, um, I am a little nervous of Denver, but not as much as I would be nervous if the Suns have to play Golden State in the Western Conference.
That's all right. That was just what I was about to say. I was going to say to answer your original question, the one I would be worst worried about is the Warriors.
Yeah,
And man, what a matchup! Narrative
narrative all over the place,
up
man.
the wazoo for
That's
that
a
one.
national media
Oh yeah, darling. That's
darling
the
right there.
ratings on that. You got Booker Clay's beef. You got the Chris Paul versus Steph, and then you got the entire Warriors against Kevin Durant. So I think yeah, that would be the scariest matchup for the Suns by far.
Mm-hmm.
By far, sure. The Warriors probably gonna have Draymond and KD, Clay on Booker, Steph and Gary Payton on Chris Paul. I think they're gonna switch a lot, obviously. But I don't think you guys are going to be able to guard all that motion, especially with Steph. And Steph turns it up in the playoffs, man.
Yeah.
It's
That if they were to match up, that's going 7 games. I'm telling you right now.
7 games for sure. I don't think it's going to be I don't know what I'm not a big sports gambler, but I don't know what the lines are going to be for that. But I think
Well,
they'll
the
be
Suns will
close.
be favored. I
You,
feel
you
like,
think? Okay.
yeah, I for sure think the Suns will be favored. I just think it's going to be closer than people think. There's going to be probably a lot of pundits that are going to be like, "Oh, Suns in 5, Suns in 6, or something like that." No, that series going 7, bro.
Yeah,
Tell
in
you right
terms of
now.
just pure entertainment value, that's
Yeah,
probably my favorite matchup besides like Bucks Celtics or something on the Eastern side. But that's probably my favorite matchup to see this
yeah,
playoffs.
yeah. Like you said, the motion's going to be crazy. I do think it's going to come down to whatever bench unit kind of pops up. The only question you have with the Warriors, but they kind of disproved that last year in the playoffs. But then again, a lot of teams that they were probably expecting to play didn't play, but they don't have a lot of hype to them. But I know that wasn't really an issue for them last year. So
It's
it's kind of
not.
like, it's kind of like they make up their hype for with Draymond and Gary Payton, honestly.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then so you got Kevon Looney who can still get you like 15 rebounds miraculously.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the battle of the bigs is going to be huge in that one too, because it's going to be Looney
Oh,
and
Aiden's
Aiden.
the biggest X factor in that series.
Yeah, because it's going to be Looney led the league in offensive rebounds this year,
Yeah,
and he's probably maybe a bit of a hot take, probably the best small ball center in the league. That's not an all
not a hot
star
take.
in my opinion.
That's not a hot take.
I mean, I
Well,
guess you
at
would say
least in
like
my opinion,
Bam is
not.
like the best small ball center. I think that's like the
Oh,
popular opinion.
that's why I never considered Bam a small ball center. That's the
Yeah, I
reason.
mean, it is true. Say whatever you want to say.
Yeah,
He's a little. I mean, he's like still like 6'10", but like
yeah,
all
that's
these guys
true.
are huge.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of 7 footers in there, so that makes sense. But yeah, no, that's really cool. But yeah, like that would be my go-to matchup. So, and we can even go even a little further than like your first round playoff series. We don't have to do like the play-in scenario matchups. We can just go into like what's like set in stone. So you
Set in
can, so we can,
stone.
yeah. So we can go like Warriors Kings for that matter because we both
Oh my god.
think the scary part is we think that we
I'm
would
trying to think. I can't remember
yeah.
when's the last time they even faced each other in the playoffs. It must have been a long
Warriors
time ago.
Kings. I don't have they ever
I don't know. That's
in
my
the
question. I
90s
was trying to
maybe
Google it. I couldn't find it.
90s maybe never.
It must be 90. It had to be like the 90s or something. I don't know. The Kings were awful for a long time.
Yeah,
And
the
so
Kings have
the
made
Warriors
playoffs.
were awful for a long time also.
Yeah, Kings have made playoffs since 05, 06.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
with the Kings, incredible story. As someone who's never seen Kings as like a rival or anything like that to the Warriors, I'm genuinely really happy for them. I love the beam. I think they have a culture in place. They're young. They play with an incredible pace, and I don't even just mean
Their crowd can get into it.
yeah. They have the best crowd in the league. That noise is incredible.
That's
It's
the
not.
only thing I miss about the Kings not being in the playoffs all these years. That crowd when they're at their old arena was Oracle esque, man. Like
Yeah,
them two arenas were just
roaring.
woo. That was
Um,
crazy.
as for the Kings, they play fast, not only like transition fast, but I mean just in their sets. These
Yeah,
guys are cutting super hard, super fast, and you have basically Jokic with Sabonis making these really impressive reads off of a short roll, or you even have them off of the screen. Um, and De'Aaron Fox, man,
fast.
he's legitimately an All NBA guard this year. And he's one of the most clutch players in the league, man. He could just get to the
Modern
rim
day
at will.
John Wall, my guy.
Modern day John Wall. Okay. All right.
Modern day John Wall. A little bit of difference.
A little bit.
Uh,
John Wall's a better passer, in my opinion.
yeah,
But
but like speed and everything, like
yeah, and I just love Keegan Murray's been a blessing to them. They got a
he had
guy
the
who
most
came
points
in.
as a rookie this year.
Yeah, I mean, what,
Unbelievable.
200 threes, I think? I think
Yeah.
that's what he got up to.
Yep.
Rookie
Davion
record.
Mitchell's a good defender.
Mm-hmm.
So
And honestly, I think the Kings caught a little flack for not selecting Jaden Ivey this year. But
mhm.
Keegan Murray is exactly what they needed. He was a high floor guy coming out, and that's exactly what they needed. Just someone there who could get into the offense quickly, and just someone to stand there and take threes, man. And with him and Herter,
Yeah.
they're dangerous, man. And they scored what was 168 points. They're averaging 122 points or something ridiculous like that. Like they are a dynamic offense. Now, all that being said, I still think the Warriors take it.
Yeah, man.
I believe, and maybe this is a bit of a homerism in me, but I just believe in the championship experience, and I don't. Steph's not losing in the first round, man. I don't see that. I don't. He's too experienced. These guys have been doing it for a long time, better part of a
Decade,
decade at
bro.
this point. Yeah,
Yeah, decade
I
basically.
don't think because we could talk all we want about the analytics and all this stuff, but there really is the little things, the little intangibles when these
Yep.
guys are playing like basically an extra season every year. You know, it's crazy. They've played like almost a whole season in the last 10 years if you count all their playoff games. They have the most experience of any nucleus in the league. So
Yep.
I love it for the Kings for this year, but I don't see them getting past the first round.
Yeah, no, it's tough, man. This series kind of reminds me of last year's Pelicans and Suns. Both
Okay.
have both have like former coaches that knows each other very well. Both play the same scheme and both do the same things. One has the more experience, the other is the younger of the bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Um, from that
Mike Brown's
standpoint,
hilarious, by the way. I want to say that's my
Mike Brown
favorite
is
coach in the
hilarious.
league.
Mike Brown's hilarious and he's blunt.
Yeah.
Super blunt. But the thing is, I do think I originally was about to say Warriors in 6. I do see this going 7 games. I think even though the Kings have no experience whatsoever, Mike Brown knows how to play, how to coach in the playoffs.
That is a huge wrinkle too, because he
Because,
runs a little bit of the Warrior sets. He kind of blends them in there.
yep,
Bit of the
yep,
motion.
exactly. And I think with that coupled with his time in Cleveland, like he knows what it takes to go on deep playoff runs time and time. So I think it's going to be one of those series where it's going to be back and forth. But I do think the Warriors at the end of the day is going to come out with it. I just think championship heart is going to just arise. And then you're going to have Draymond say something crazy, being like, there's levels to this, young Bucks. So it's like
I think our X factor is going to be Poole too, or I should say our Warriors X factor is going to be Jordan Poole for sure.
Jordan Poole, yeah. I think it's going to come down between him versus Malik Monk.
Yeah.
Whoever's the more consistent.
Sneaky 6-man of the year contender. Also,
100%. Malik Monk's been that guy this year, man.
For sure. Great pickup for them as well.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one playoff matchup. So obviously we had Suns and Warriors making it past. We don't know who the Nuggets nor the Grizzlies will play, so we'll skip on that. So then let's go to the East because I know we haven't really talked much about the East, and I'm kind of excited about that. So we're obviously not going to talk about the Bucks or the Celtics, which they're both really, really good.
I mean, honestly, I said in my article I wrote last night, I think it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Whoever gets the Celtics and the Bucks, I think they're being the brakes off of whatever team they see.
Yeah.
The 2 best teams in the East, arguably 2 of the top 3 teams in the NBA. So
yeah, it's tough. I do think though that if the Celtics play Miami, it might be interesting. It might be interesting, but that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah, true.
You know, so I don't know. We'll see. But let's go to like one of my personal favorites. I'll do Cleveland and New York first.
I knew you were gonna say that. Okay,
that's gonna be epic, man. But it can go either way. Who do you got in that series?
Okay, I got the Cavs in 5. I believe that's what I said.
Cavs in 5. You have the Cavs pulling a freaking. You have Donovan Mitchell pulling a Trae Young on these guys.
Yeah, man.
Dang.
I think. Listen, I don't want to knock anything from the Knicks. Jalen Brunson has been incredible this year. He's a bucket getter. I love Quentin Grimes. Julius Randle. He's a good player, man. He's putting up like great stats. It's hard to deny. He's been a really good player He had the off year last year, but the year before that, all NBA guy. Like
he does kind of give me a streaky.
He's a streaky vibe.
Streaky vibe, especially when it comes to certain games and situations. I know last time he was in the playoffs it was kind of rough, but we'll see this time.
The Knicks are a good team, man, but the Cavs have all-star caliber players in 4 of the starting 5. I think Jarrett Allen is one of the best traditional bigs in the league. Evan Mobley is going to be a perennial defensive player of the year candidate. He's only a sophomore, and while offensively he doesn't put up the most eye-popping numbers, like he is an absolute beast on defense. And in your backcourt is Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell, which is like insane. And Donovan's had, dare I say, an MVP level kind of year this year.
Oh yeah, I remember looking at JJ Redick's podcast about it. He had the Cavs, or he had Donovan Mitchell as like 5th in his
for MVP voting. Yeah, I would agree, man. He's scored 70 this year, man. In a competitive way too, like not trying to run up the score, like he was trying to get buckets.
Yeah, man. And oh yeah, you can continue because I know you're still.
No, yeah, I mean, I just don't see them containing that much talent. I think they have way too much talent on the floor, and the Knicks are a really greatly coached team. But I think the Cavs are going to make a legit run in the East this year. That's my hot take.
That's gonna be interesting because if the Cavs whoever makes it through this, they gotta go through Milwaukee.
Yeah, it's a whole nother story.
A whole nother story, man. But yeah, I also have the Cavs. I have them in 6 games. I think the advantage that they'll have is half court offense versus half court defense, and I think the Knicks have a bottom 10 half court defense, and then the Cavs have a top 10 half court offense. I think that's where it kind of comes down to it, and I think Darius Garland's gonna show the world why he's the most underrated point guard in this league. I said it. The most underrated point guard in this league. Nobody talks about him enough in my
Steve Nash
opinion.
2.0, man.
Yes, he's that guy, man. He can shoot the brick out of that ball. He's averaged 41% this season. Him and De'Aaron Fox to me. I would say Drew Holiday now, but Drew Holiday just got an all-star cast, so I can't really say he's underrated anymore. But I'll say him and De'Aaron Fox are the 2 most underrated point guards in the league, with him being at the forefront. And I think it's gonna be too much. And I also think that front court is just gonna give Julius Randle just a really tough time, man. Like Jared Allen, Evan Mobley are just gonna,
They're tradition. I mean, they're a huge team. Like they're a big team, and they're mobile. Yeah. They're very mobile.
Yeah. I do think Emmanuel quickly is gonna show up though in this series. He'll be one of the better players.
That's a big X factor, man. To touch on the Garland thing, I think he's one of the most underrated passers in the league too. Like obviously he's a great passer, but I think you're right. He does not get talked about. He had 55 points this year, I believe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 55 points, and I think like 20 of them came in like the fourth quarter.
They lost that game, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was the Timberwolves. They lost. It sucked. Yeah.
No, I mean, I just want to see. I mean, honestly, I'm just a big fan of like Mobley and Garland and Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah,
I think I don't know, man. I'm kind of rooting for them. I want to see them. I want them to shake some things up,
No, yeah, that's what I'm kind of saying too. Like, I would love for the Knicks to kind of pull off an upset as well, but I personally just think, man, the Cavs starting lineup, in my opinion, is a little better, and they're going to show that in this matchup series. There's little things that just think Cavs have an advantage over, and when you have, and I think the X factor really is Donovan Mitchell. They have the best player on that in that series, so. Yeah, I got Cavs there, and then they're gonna get through in this first round. But now let's go to the 3rd and 6th matchup, and that's the Sixers and the Nets. My boy Mikal, you have no idea, and I'm not supposed to say this as a reporter, but you have no idea how much I'm rooting for him and Cam to get through. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I don't know, man. Who do you got coming in out of that game, or that not game, but series in general?
I think it's Philly in 6, but man, I think they're gonna make Philly sweat. They are gonna make Philly sweat for sure. Man.
They're young and scrappy.
I called Mikal a mid-range angel and assassin.
Yeah,
he has been clinical. You talking about they traded KD for KD, man. He is like KD.
They traded KD for younger KD.
Yeah. Like short KD, basically. It's incredible, man. Like it makes you think like, I mean, Mikal is just everything I get is such great vibes from him. Like just like a true team player, does anything he does anything for the team needs him to do. And I think he played a perfect role in the Suns offense. Mm-hmm. And he got the keys to the Nets, and he just drove off with it. It's incredible, man. I was honestly shocked. I was like, "Whoa!" I've watched a lot of Sun games, and I never really saw this coming. To be completely honest with you, especially he's always had a decent handle, but like the off the dribble stuff for me has been really impressive.
Yeah, man. No, it's a. No, like there's one thing about Mikal's game that a lot of people didn't really notice is his mid range has been amazing. I think he's actually been one of the best corner 3 shooters in the league as well.
And incredible cutter as well. He's a great
incredible cutter. Yeah, I really didn't want the Suns to trade him because I knew he was going to turn into this But I do understand from the standpoint of he wasn't going to be the number one option on Booker, and he's a guy that really needs the ball in his hands per se to be this much of a threat as a scorer. And he wasn't going to have happen as an off-ball player, unfortunately. It was going to come in spurts, just not consistently enough per se. But yeah, it's pain. But yeah, I have the Sixers actually in 5 games,
Okay.
but I don't have the Nets getting one at home. I actually have the Nets stealing game 1. I have the
Okay.
Nets just stealing game 1 and everybody because I have Mikal going back to his hometown, because he's from Philly, he played at college in Villanova. I have him stealing the game back in Philly and kind of making everybody go, oh.
That was a huge story too, that draft night, because his mom worked for the Sixers.
Yep.
He was all Philly the whole way.
Got drafted by them. It was like, whoa, amazing. And then all of a sudden they just traded him away. I think he's gonna, like, for one game, gonna be like having the Sixers brass be like, why the heck did we trade this guy away?
Yeah, and I mean for the Nets too, like they're honestly so happy the 3 of them are gone. Like it's good vibes now. I think Jacques Vaughn is a really good coach. I think he, like Steve Nash, he got handed, like, unfortunately, like the most controversial team in the entire league.
Yep.
And it was just, I think, like, now that all the, for lack of a better term, like theatrics are gone, I think they're focusing on what really matters, and that's hooping. Like,
yeah, and obviously I've kind of given Jacques Vaughn some flack because I've always was wondering, like, why doesn't he play Cam Thomas enough? Because I know he scores 40 like it's crazy, but
hey, yo, he hates him. I'm not gonna lie, he does hate Cam Thomas.
Yeah, I don't think he likes Cam Thomas, and it kind of showed when in his press conference the other day when he was like, he's like, bruh, he's like, yeah, it's cool he scored 40. We also lost by 30. So how can you couple him shooting 30 times and scoring 40 points with winning? And I was like, he has a point. The 2, I'm like,
well, you need some confidence, your guys, man. I mean, like, he had more 40-point games than, like, I think AD or something this year. It's like he
doesn't pass the ball. That's basically what he was saying.
Well, he doesn't defend or he doesn't pass, but, like, that's like the perfect 6-man. I mean, we can figure a role out for him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you have to find a way to get him some minutes. Or they do give him minutes, just not enough, in my opinion.
Dude, they give him, like, I feel like they give him, like, when he does have the keys, they give him all he wants, but it'll be like DNP, and then it'll be like 5 minutes, 4 points, 4 minutes, 10 points. Like,
yep, that's crazy, man. But yeah, I definitely got the Sixers in this one. Embiid's having an MVP type season. Harden's having his best facilitating season, in my opinion, of his career.
For sure.
I think he's having a similar season to Steve Nash and the prime Steve Nash and prime Chris Paul has had. So
bit of a hot take. I like this Harden more.
I do too.
Obviously, it's not like peak Rocket James Harden was just
cooking with Kobe-like numbers.
Insane. But I think, as crazy it sounds, I think he adds a little more value as just like the main facilitator. Like, he is an incredible passer, and I think for as much as scoring is his, like, most obvious talent, I think he's a better passer than he is a scorer.
I do too. I've always kind of felt that way about his game, because a lot of his scoring came on volume shooting, really.
Yeah.
So I like that idea, and I think his defense has gotten better, which has been something that's been kind of flack for him. I know it's kind of like not elite. I'm not saying it's elite by any stretch.
Yeah, he is a very underrated post defender. I will say that he can handle in the post well. Perimeter, it depends. It's a little shaky sometimes.
Yeah.
And I like Maxey. I think the Sixers are really interesting. Like, I feel bad for their fans because they're so passionate. And I think Embiid is incredible. Embiid is like a top 5 player in the league easily for me. And like he's just a monster, man. He's getting doubled every game, and he's still averaging 33 and 10. Like, it doesn't matter.
If there's 2 offensive scorers, and when it comes to like mid range and post, that I think, and from an efficiency standpoint, it's between Embiid and KD for me in terms of offense.
I mean, it's hard to argue. I think you would say, besides the scoring title itself, I think he is the best scorer in the league, regardless if we want to say like bag or
Yeah,
whatever.
don't
But
shoot,
like,
man. 52 points on 20 of 25 shooting
yeah, it's ridiculous.
is crazy.
And like especially the last few years when he's added that added like a lot more jump shooters in his game, like jump shooting in his game, I should say. Yeah, it's just incredible. Seeing
He's
a guy that
the
big,
best he's ever been.
seeing a guy that big, like fake from the perimeter,
It's Hakeem
shoot
Olajuwon
into his
life, bro.
spot is incredible.
It's Hakeem Olajuwon life, man.
Yeah. So yeah, at Sixers and 6, I think.
Sixers and 6. Sixers and 6. That's good, man. But yeah, any last minute things, like any like before we wrap up this episode, any like last like little notes that you might have for what you're looking forward to in this first round playoffs?
Well, I'm looking forward to good games. Hopefully, competitive games.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the youngins. I think I want some of the younger players to really prove themselves. I think we're at a time now in the NBA, a big paradigm shift where we're seeing the older players like KD, Steph, LeBron. The reality is in the next 5 years, and most of them are going to retire.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see. Obviously, you got Giannis and Luka and Jokic and whatnot. But I want to see some new faces really put a name for themselves out there, not just in the first round, but as far as they could go.
Yeah.
Real quick though, what's your finals pick?
I got Milwaukee coming out of the East.
Okay.
Blank period. I think the only team that could really compete with Milwaukee in the East is Boston. And I personally have Boston going through it with Miami in the first round if Miami makes it. I just don't think anybody outside of Boston can put up a fight against Milwaukee. So I got Milwaukee coming out of the first round. The West is an entirely different situation. I do not know. Part of me wants to say Phoenix. Part of me wants to say Golden State. And a part of me wants to say, honestly, Denver. It's one of those three, but I just don't know.
I think I agree with you 100%, actually.
But one of those three teams is playing Milwaukee. I am that confident in Milwaukee that they're going to go on a freaking tear.
I'm terrified. Yeah, I know I just went on a big gushing spree about Joel Embiid, but Giannis is the most terrifying player in the league.
He's the best player in the league.
Yeah, it's not only is just like the rim pressure, the passing, it's the defense, man. As Suns fans know, he is a dream shatterer.
They're gonna, if the Suns make the finals and play them, they're gonna need every bit of KD's greatness to beat that.
Oh
beat that
man,
team.
I'd love
every
that.
bit of it.
KD versus Giannis in the finals. Oh my god, that would be incredible. That's actually funny enough you say that. That's my very favorite player matchup in the league. Every time KD plays Giannis.
2 years ago? Oh man, especially after 2 years ago. Ooh, that was fun. That was so fun.
They love playing against each other. I mean, I would too if I was like both like 7-foot freak athletes, and I'm like, oh, yo, you're kind of like my counterpart.
Yep.
They're kind of weird inverses of each other, actually, if you think about it too.
Yep. Giannis is a more ripped version of KD, and then KD's like a if Giannis was
a slim jump shooter, right? Yeah.
KD's like a slim jump shooter. If Giannis,
they're like the missing parts of each other's game.
They're the missing parts of each other's game. Exactly. Exactly. That's so good. That's so good. But yeah, that would be, that'd be awesome to see. I just don't know who's coming out of the West.
I mean, I'm inclined to say Warriors, but a bit of a favoritism there.
Yeah.
But I could see Denver too, man. I mean, if it's really Jokic's year, as the media likes to say it is, I could see them now. Will they beat Milwaukee? I don't know. I honestly think Bucks are going to take it all. To be completely honest with you, it's hard.
I don't even have the Warriors beating Milwaukee.
Yeah. Besides the Warriors, they have the best. What am I looking for? Camaraderie. I think they're a huge, good vibes team.
It's 1 o'clock.
They've been with each other for a long time.
Yeah, man. No, it's crazy. It's crazy, fam. Well, yeah. Before we really wrap up, I wanted to touch base on what I'm looking forward to in this first round as well.
Go ahead.
I am hoping. I'm not going to be specific. I'm hoping for at least 3 of the 4 1 through 8 or 2 through 7 series to go 6 or 7 games.
Okay.
3 out of 4. I'm hoping for, like, if the Lakers were to play the Grizzlies, I would hope for that to go 6 or 7. If the Celtics play the Heat, I'm hoping for that to go 6 or 7. And if it's going to be tough, but if the Nuggets play the Pelicans, I'm hoping for that to go at least 6. So
okay,
I'm hoping for like some March Madness kind of vibes in this first round.
That'd be a good series. I kind of like that. Okay.
To get the fans engaged and everything. So I think it should be interesting, but we shall see, man. We shall see. Yeah, that'll do it on this episode of Mill3r Sports Podcast. Please hit the like and subscribe button, as we are affiliated with Burn City Sports, and this goes on the Burn City Sports YouTube channel. Hopefully it's going to be an amazing first round series, and hopefully it's going to be a very amazing play-in matchups these next couple days. But playoff basketball is here, ladies and gentlemen, so it's go time now. But as Hope and as your host and Burn City Sports digital reporter, I am Franklin Miller, joined by my good friend from back home in the Bay, Christian Salgado, who has to get ready for work now.
Well, I was gonna say real quick, if you guys like to go see my work, I post on Substack. You go see my name right here. Oh, this way, my bad. It's Sal NBA on Substack. Unfortunately, Elon took down links for Twitter, so bit of an obstacle there. But if you'd like to see more of my writing, I'd go ahead and go look that up. I'd apprioate that.
He does.
Thanks for having me on.
Exactly. No problem. He does fantastic work. He just recently did a post on the playoff matchups and who he's got winning each series. So if you want to look at his work, he does fantastic work. So just want to throw it out there for him. But yeah, as always, thank you for tuning in to this episode of Mill3r Sports Podcast. Have a great rest of your day every morning, or everybody every morning.